Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have National Geographic's Wild Congo. This is from 2014. It's one season, but the season is only two episodes of like 45 minutes each. I only watched one episode. I got the gist. We've done our share of Congo and African River and African lands documentaries from National Geographic. I think Disney Nature has their share. Yeah, there's no shortage of documentaries about this part of the world. It's still fascinating. It's still beautiful to look at. I mean, this documentary is almost, well, it's about 8 years old. Um, yeah, about 8 years old, and it's shot beautifully. It's I don't know if it's 4K or whatever. I can't remember if that was a thing back then. At least with high end cameras and stuff like that. Uh, we just didn't have the means to properly view it at that time. Uh, 4K TVs weren't a thing, at least for the general populace. Rich people had them. I've seen my share at like technology conventions and things like that. 8K ones, even all the way back to 2012. Still, nobody could buy them except for the rich. So, anyway, this is about the Congo and how wild it is. Basically, we go through a number of different creatures, narrated by Corey Johnson. His voice sounds familiar, and I just can't place where I've seen him or heard him before. He's probably a National Geographic regular. So, this, of course, shows the hippos. It shows shoebill birds. By the way, you know how they say that birds have evolved from dinosaurs, and if there was ever proof of that, the shoebill is a really good candidate because it is one spooky, kind of lizardy looking bird. It's got some intense eyes and a mouth that looks dinosaurish, like a bill that looks very dinosaurish, and it's a freaky. If you ever catch one of those things staring at you, run, run. It's If you're gonna watch anything in this documentary, check out what happens with the shoebill, and it also do with like the rock pythons, and they have other fish, and they have praying mantises, and there's lizards, and there's elephants, and you get to see how they all interact and how they live and the cycles. Oh, the bats, all the bats, so many bats mating and pooping and giving birth and then flying away, and then it all starts over. Oh, speaking of going back to the shoebill, they talk about it for a bit, and then they just sort of go, oh, let's move on to the next animal. The next animal is like the lungfish, which is also super creepy. If you ever in Africa and you just happen to be walking through a swamp, and it's springtime, I guess, and things start getting a little wet, and you just start seeing these fish climb out of the water, just emerge from the water and slowly, slimily make their way to deeper waters. Yeah, run. It's not, they're just creepy. So when you see let's just say the shoebills realize when these guys start popping out and dipping into the deeper water, and they're willing to stand there for a good long time waiting for one of them to pop up. By the way, they're a lungfish. They have to breathe air at least every 30 minutes or so. They have to pop up, take a breath, come back down for a while. They have gills, but they can't just be like normal fish. They have a lung, at least one lung, and they got to breathe air. So when they pop up, well, the shoebill is just creepily staring at them, waiting for it to happen, and they get lunch. So yeah, there's a number of unsettling things that go on with the shoebill, especially smaller birds. Not a happy scene when a little small baby bird falls from its nest. No, you can't have that happen. You can't. You got to be more careful with your baby birds. If not, guess what? Shoebill gets them. So, yeah, this might have some unsettling moments for people who might be a little sensitive to other animals eating other animals. It's just the way it is in nature. That's the way it's going to happen. So, and yeah, dinosaur bird is pretty much going to, he tops the list. And there's just so many different things here. I could go through it. But you're either into this kind of stuff or not. If you're into the nature stuff, you're into the African wild stuff, and just seeing all the creatures and everything else that live along this river or in it and along it and at different phases of it, because it's not always the Congo River. It's called something else, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's probably in another documentary we'll watch soon or have seen in the past. So yeah, there's no shortage of Congo stuff on Disney Plus. So if you're into this, check it out. If not, you can skip it. It's not like, oh, you know what, this is going to change your mind about nature documentaries. It's good. And it's not like it's funny or anything, but the Corey Johnson, the narrator, whoever wrote this, he throws in a few funny zingers, just like wordplay that it's dark humor. It's not like ha funny, but it's like, I see what you did there. That's basically what it's like when he's throwing out them zingers. So yeah, check it out if it's your thing. If not, let's move on to tomorrow's episode. Let's see if this is more your taste.
421.
421. 421. 421. All right. Well, we got a movie, and it's the original, even though we've already seen the sequel in a past episode. We've already watched the sequel. Yes, because this is all randomly selected most of the time, 99% of the time, it's gonna give us some sequels before the originals. I'm pretty sure I've seen this. It's kind of it was a movie that was pretty popular in its time. It stars Whoopi Goldberg. Can you guess? It's Sister Act. Yeah, I'm watching Sister Act. You know what? Sky High. I just missed that by one. I'll watch that. Anyway, next up tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, Sister Act. I'll see you back here tomorrow.